Brendan Mortensen here at Ed Smith Stadium, once again joined by our MASN Orioles insider, Roch Kubatko. Roch, I know it was a little bit hard to see over the swarm of media members that was here today, but Tomoyuki Sugano throws his first bullpen session. What stood out to you about it?
I threw a few elbows, too. I don't know if you noticed that, to make room. I mean, it's only a bullpen session. It's not even live BP, but it was a big deal. It was the story of the day because he finally got on a mound. And you're right, the media interest, and not just the Japanese media, we were all like over tweeting it or Xing it, whatever they're calling that, over posting it, video, photos. But he was so impressive. And you could really see, first of all, the movement of his pitches, his command, and Gary Sanchez's reaction to everything he threw. He'd say whoa a few times, he'd point the mitt at him, he'd nod his head. His command when he came was advertised. This is what Drew French said about him. The exceptional command. Sanchez says he could have just left his glove and closed his eyes, and he would have hit the mitt with that low fastball. He threw 5 of his 6 pitches, no sliders. We don't know how good that slider is, but everything else just looked really sharp. And for a guy that was still battling jet lag, you know, that's why they pushed this back one day. It was especially impressive. He's still adapting to everything. And it was one of the best bullpen sessions I've ever seen, and certainly one of the most high-profile and highly publicized ones that we've seen.
Yeah, there's a language barrier between Gary Sanchez and Sugano, but good pitch is pretty universal there.
Also, he said he knew a few words, but they were bad words in Japanese, so Sanchez wouldn't share them with us.
Right, and one of the things that Sanchez said as well is that he has some experience catching Japanese pitchers, going back to Masahiro Tanaka and Yu Darvish. Just how valuable is that to have somebody like Gary Sanchez here who's a little bit familiar with how Japanese pitchers like to play the game?
Right, that's the big thing, and that's also what Sugano was talking about, is that, you know, he has a better understanding of the differences between the Japanese pitchers and what they're looking to do, personalities, what they're like. And you know, he's adapting. The strike zone, I think, is a little bit different here than in Japan. The baseball's different. Size-wise, it's not tacky with the grip. And he's going to be learning hitters and just adapting to life in the U.S. It's not just about playing baseball here. So, you know, Sanchez kind of understands all of that and can kind of guide them through. He's going to be a very valuable backup in that regard.
Yeah, and we heard from Brandon Hyde and pitching coach Drew French as well, and it sounds like the general approach is this is a veteran. We're going to let him kind of do his thing, settle in a little bit. Of course, they are going to coach him, and they are going to help him adapt to the big league game, but he kind of knows what he's doing at this point.
Right, and that's when you're a veteran, that's kind of, you're afforded that luxury, and we've seen it with whether it's a hitter like, you know, Vlad Guerrero Sr. way back in the day or Corbin Burns this past year, and they're treating Sugano like he is a veteran. I mean, he's a rookie technically. He could be Rookie of the Year at this age, but was it 12 years of experience pitching in Japan, and at his age, he knows how to get ready. So, of course, yeah, they're there for whatever he needs, but he knows how to prepare himself. He knows his routine. They're not going to jump and say, wait a minute, you're not doing it right. This worked for him big time in Japan, and they know it's going to work here.
Well, Sugano was the story of the day. We're excited to check back in with you tomorrow for some more fun stories, Roch.
We'll find another one. There's always a story.